Welcome to the PW Fan, the ultimate pro wrestling podcast created by fans for the fans. This is episode 93, and we've got an action-packed show lined up for you. I'm your host, the grumpy old school wrestling fan, collector, barber, and musician, Talk Wrestling, Tim Gilbert.
And I'm your host, the architect of pro wrestling podcasts, Funko Pop collector, Booker, Andy.
I'm also your host, the no-selling wrestling indie fan and football lover, Jeremy.
Well, guys, we got an action-packed show. We're going to be talking about the Bam Bam Bigelow, Dark Side of the Ring, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso continued feud, CM Punk, and more. Hey, before we get started, please make sure to go to youtube.com/the PW Fan Pod so you can comment, like, and subscribe. By doing this, you're helping us grow, helping us get on that recommended For You page, because besides enjoying time every week with my two friends here, you guys and girls are the reason why we do this show every week, and the only way we can grow is with your continued help. Show off your love for the PW Fan with our awesome and wearable merch. We've got 5 unique shirt designs, including 3 different PW Fan logo shirts and 2 exclusive Booker Andy shirts. Check them out now on ProWrestlingTees.com/the PW Fan to grab your favorites. For all other social media platforms, search at the PW Fan, where you don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Leave a review. Your feedback helps us improve and makes the show even better for all wrestling fans. And make sure to stick around until the end for my classic show of the week recommendation. Whether you're a new fan or old, I won't steer you wrong with these classic show recommendations. Well, up first, get ready for some shocking revelations and untold secrets as we dive into the dark side of the ring. Andy, over to you, buddy. Let's get started on today's episode.
All right, this week on Dark Side of the Ring, topic was Bam Bam Bigelow. Personally, I really enjoyed the episode. I didn't know too much about his life. I just knew about him as a wrestler. I really didn't even know too much about his wrestling to begin with, but I thought it was really good. He seemed like a genuine, really nice guy, and beloved by kind of everyone around him, his family and friends, and respected as well. It's kind of the tale as old as time, though, when it comes to that era of wrestling and getting addicted to pills and whatnot.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I was going to say is it reminded me of almost every other episode that had some sort of drug addiction in it. But yeah, he did seem like a really cool guy. And also the highlight for me during that whole episode was that spot in ECW with him and Taz going through the ring. And then the cool part was Taz actually telling the story about it.
Oh, he's like, I'm feeling bad. He's like, I'm so old school. He's like, I don't want to tell the secret
didn't really want to say it.
What we do.
Yeah, but then it was just cool because he was like, yeah, as soon as they went through the ring, he immediately asked if I'm okay, and that was his first thought. And I was like,
he said that's
cool.
The kind of guy Bam Bam was.
Yeah, and it was just cool to hear him talk about how they waited for the crowd to calm down a little bit, and then they got up afterwards.
Yeah,
but I like that episode.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good episode. You know, it's like Andy was saying and how you were saying, Jeremy. It was one of those tale as old as time episodes. Big star, great wrestler who unfortunately succumbed to his own demons and died prematurely because of his addictions. And it's a sad thing that you see a lot with that generation. I really recommend the episode. I learned a lot that I didn't know. I think that they could have probably gone into more detail on some stuff. I would have liked to hear more about his kind of overall just runs in general in the different places he went. I thought maybe some more info would have been cool. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode and a sad story for a guy who seemed like a nice, genuine guy and had a kind of a tragic ending. The sad part for me was the dad was his daughter, who was talking about when they got pulled over and because he was nodding out and the cops were arresting him in front of her when she was 3, because that's the same age that my daughter is now. So hit a little close to home. So it was a tough episode, but it was good. It was a good watch.
Yeah, I recommend it for anyone that especially if you don't know much about Bam Bam Bigelow's life. It does go a lot into that and his career. Next week for Dark Side of the Ring, we're going to talk about the infamous incident that happened at Bash at the Beach in 1998, Tim?
The Bash at the Beach episode. I think it's 90. I think it's 98.
It's 2000. It's 2000.
Oh, Bash at the
I'm
Beach
reading.
2000. Damn. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie
Yeah.
pulled up the correct info for us.
2000. So that one we'll be talking about. It actually airs tonight. We'll be talking about it next week, and then
It should be
week after that we'll wrap.
I believe it's Jeff Jarrett laying down in the ring for Hogan. So
Jeff Jarrett, Vince Russo, and Hulk Hogan are the centerpiece of this upcoming episode. And then the week after that, we'll end with the season finale, which will be Marty Jannetty. That one I've been waiting for.
We've all been waiting
Wait for that one.
Woo. I'm excited for that. Even though it's not going to be good things that are said, but it's just going to be kind of crazy, wild stories. But let's get into Raw. This past week, the Judgment Day opened up the show to celebrate Dom's North American Championship win. The champion of the North is Dominic Mysterio.
The champion of the North.
The North. Judgment Day was out there, though, to brag about running Raw as their group does, and to introduce Dom as the new champion. As usual, though, the crowd would basically boom out of the building. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would come out, and Kevin would yell at Dom, told him to basically shut his mouth forever, and also while trying to stay calm. Then we had Becky Lynch defeating Zoe Stark. The stipulations for the match were if Becky lost, she would get a Trish's name tattooed on her, and if she won, she gets a match with Trish. Well, obviously she won, like I said. Weirdly enough, though, that match is not going to take place on a pay-per-view. It's going to take place in Canada,
Winnipeg,
this coming week. Or no, 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. After that, we had a Cody Rhodes promo just talking about his upcoming match with Lesnar. Wasn't a very long promo, and then it actually, for once, was not interrupted by Brock. I'm not even sure if he was in the building that night.
Probably wasn't.
Because of the opening segment, Sammy had challenged Dominic to a match for Dominic's North American Championship, kind of egging him on earlier, saying that, if he's really a fighting champion, then he'll defend it. During the match, it seemed like Sammy was going to win, but KO was dragged out by the Judgment Day hurt, and Dominic would get a win by, distraction from the Judgment Day and Kevin Owens being hurt.
So, sorry, I was going to say, you and I were talking about it before, you and Andy, before the show, but I was like...
Kevin and Sammy are not feuding with anyone. They don't have a
not
match
on
at
SummerSlam. They're not on the card for SummerSlam, which is insane to me.
Nope. They have 2 sets of titles, and they're not on the card.
That's crazy. Like, Sammy was one of the hottest...
Card.
Yeah.
They are not on it.
Sammy was one of the hottest stars, like, not even, a few months ago?
And Kevin.
Now he's not even going to be on SummerSlam. And Kevin.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed would defeat Tommaso Ciampa due to a distraction from Nakamura. There's a little bit of tension between Nakamura and Ciampa right now. Rhea Ripley would beat down Liv Morgan before their supposed match. And then Ricochet would actually have a decent promo and call out Logan Paul for a match. But Logan Paul would end up...
This is a better feud than almost half of the matches happening on SummerSlam.
And surprisingly enough, I mean, Ricochet has never been in a feud I'm really invested in.
Yeah.
But this is kind of
It's mainly because of Logan Paul, I think, which I hate to say.
But this segment was cool because Logan attacked, and then He pulled out his phone, and they had a cool viral
Oh,
moment
yeah.
where Ricochet super kicked him, and then did a standing shooting star, and it was all on the phone.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, but yeah, before Paul would get attacked by Ricochet, he accepted Ricochet's match for SummerSlam.
Yeah. It also
Um,
takes a lot holding that phone and like making sure you got the angle because he's recording it, making sure he
just
has that angle.
just winging it,
Yeah, and he gets kicked in the face.
We had Drew
He's a pro
McIntyre and
YouTuber. He should be able to do that.
This is true. This is true.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not his first time filming doing
Selfies are his
selfies.
thing. Selfies are kind of his thing.
So we would have a segment with Drew and Imperium. He would challenge Gunther to put his title on the line right there, but of course Gunther would refuse and offered McIntyre a match at SummerSlam. This would also lead to a match on the show with Ludwig Kaiser, and Drew would end up winning. Sorry. And I believe Gunther would be upset with Ludwig Kaiser when it was all over.
So are they having a match at SummerSlam then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Yeah, during that segment, Gunther said, I'll give you a match, just not tonight. It will be at SummerSlam. And then the show ended with not a match. Raw actually closed with the Seth Rollins and Finn Balor contract signing. A little back and forth between them until all the rest of Judgment Day would come out from different parts of the stands and surround the ring, and basically it was a Seth Rollins beatdown until I believe Sami would come out and try to save him, but I believe the Judgment Day Judgment Day took out Sami Zayn before they would just end up beating down Seth Rollins at the end of the show. So, is there anything you guys want to add to that before we move on?
That was a decent show, I thought.
I thought it was a very average Raw.
Average Raw wasn't
Yeah.
anything crazy. Though this Raw that just happened that
just
we'll talk about next week, I really enjoyed. I thought it was solid.
That was a
all
better
the way
one.
through. Yeah, I'd have to say. Dynamite, what do you know? It opened up with an Orange Cassidy match against Darby Allin's friend, AR Fox, who Darby said, there was a video beforehand Darby talking about AR
That was
Fox.
a cool video package.
Yeah, I mean,
They should do
you
more.
got some like real life stuff in it. I believe it talked about how Darby basically lived out of his car to go train with AR Fox because he thought he needed to get out of Seattle, right? And then
Yeah.
he trained for months living out of his car, and then AR Fox let him live with him for free. So they're friends. But AR Fox would end up losing to Orange Cassidy and then basically turn heel right then and there and start attacking Orange Cassidy. Darby Allin would come out and kind of, freak out on AR Fox. While this is going on, Moxley would attack Cassidy for, I believe, getting involved at the end of the match with Claudio and Pac
I think so, yeah.
on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, on Ring of Honor. But I do like if Moxley. I would be okay with Moxley if he beats Orange Cassidy for that title, the international title.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
He can then take it to New Japan and actually defend it across, every promotion.
Internationally.
Yeah.
So then after that, I'm sure Tim loved this. Jack Perry cut a promo.
I still don't like the entrance.
Yeah. I don't like.
Is it the music?
The music sucks.
Yeah, the music doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But Jack Perry would cut a promo. Jerry Lynn would basically have enough because he was talking about the championship and the company of ECW and basically trashed it. Jerry Lynn would come out and interrupt his promo. So to me, am I right in saying it looks like they're gonna have a match.
I don't. It's so they said face to face. Like I looked at it recently and it says face to face. It doesn't say match. So I think it's just
Okay,
like a.
they're gonna work. It just says I'm reading like they're just gonna work across from each other next week, but I don't know. Yeah, if that's a match or.
It'll probably. I mean, most likely will get physical, but it's not
Yeah.
gonna be like an actual match.
I mean, out of the people there, the only people that super respected in the ECW world would be Jerry Lynn
Yeah.
and Taz.
Yeah.
And Taz obviously is.
Taz can
I
definitely.
mean, it would make sense with this. It's Taz's fucking title.
Yeah, but he can't go in the ring.
Yeah. So I mean, not that I know if Jerry Lynn can either.
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn.
Okay. Jerry Lynn. Don Callis would try to convince Jericho to partner with Konosuke Takeshita to take on Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. He also would present Jericho with a painting of basically their younger selves together. It reminded me, not the painting itself, but just the kind of style it's in, of the painting that Jericho gave KO at the Festival of Friendship.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
But
Their
also
hair's flowing in the painting and like.
for this match though, like who's the face then?
I
Just
don't know.
no one. I mean, I know you can do like a heel versus heel one, but it's like no one's gonna like cheer. They might cheer Daniel Garcia just because he does the dancing thing. That's about it.
Apparently that's catching on, and I don't like it.
You don't like it? I liked it on the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I thought it was funny for that bit.
Tim, how do you feel about Daniel Garcia dancing?
Yeah, it shouldn't be like a full-time thing.
I miss whatever happened to. Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? That's what I miss. That's gone. I haven't heard that in a long time.
I don't know where they are.
The thing
They
about
had a
the
backstage segment, basically, like.
The thing about the dancing is it does make me laugh. But like sometimes when you see a horror movie or like you see like a serious movie, I don't want to laugh. I shouldn't be laughing. Like it's fine. I'm not like complaining that I laughed, but I feel like I shouldn't be laughing. I should be more serious.
Yeah. I feel like every now and then it's funny, but not every single match.
Do you think it's because of the sports entertainer gimmick?
Entertainers.
Yeah. Entertainers.
I don't know. I just don't want to see MJF dance anymore, please. Don't do that
Oh,
again.
yeah. Well, speaking of MJF, thank you, Tim. Backstage, MJF cut a promo on FTR ahead of his and Adam Cole's match against them on Collision, where he would vow to give Cole a rematch for the AEW World Championship down the line. Roderick Strong would then interrupt, and Cole would have to talk him down because Roderick Strong's not buying MJF's partnership, you could say, with Adam Cole.
I love the storyline. So
Didn't come to an end, but we'll talk about it.
yeah,
Didn't fully come to an end. They also had a new T-shirt, double clothesline.
that was like,
Someone else had a new T-shirt, but we'll talk about that on Collision. Swerve Strickland would defeat Darby Allin, and afterwards, AR Fox would attack. And so it looks like he has joined the Mogul Embassy, who I still do not care about.
they haven't done anything, so like, why would anyone care about them? Like, they haven't, other than Swerve Strickland being in it. Like, who cares?
I mean, I've heard Tim talk about them more than anyone I know. Tim really likes the Mogul Embassy. But I guess to each their own. God, yeah, they do nothing for me. The original guys in it, Parker Boudreaux and the tatted up guy,
Didn't he get
they're
fired?
just nowhere. I don't know.
I don't know who the fuck
I don't
you're
know, and I
talking
don't
about.
care.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Swerve, don't you know Swerve?
Whose house?
Wait, he's in that tag team?
Swerves.
He's
That's
like
his
the
group.
main guy.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not
Yeah.
doing anything for Tim either.
Yeah.
The main event though was the
Bunch
Blackpool
of
Combat Club
jobbers.
versus Best Friends. Blackpool Combat Club versus Best Friends versus Lucha Bros. Winners would be Lucha Bros due to Cassidy getting involved. This would, I believe, kind of begin the whole Moxley Cassidy match. Is that coming up on this week's AEW 200
That's just gonna
Dynamite? Can't believe
suck.
they've had 200 Dynamites.
It's a triple threat, I think. It's Moxley, Penta, and Trent?
No. Yeah? No. I don't think it's on this card. I think it's Penta, Trent, and Moxley, but it's not the international championship match.
Oh, it's not for that. Yeah. It's just a triple threat.
Yeah. 200 Dynamites, though.
That's crazy.
We're talking about episode 199.
That's a lot of dynamites.
Yeah. 4 years. 4 years
Well,
it's
this-
been on.
They've
This
also
is
been. I just saw
This is episode 93 of the PW Fan. What about that? That's almost 100. Yeah.
Yeah, in September
right,
we'll
Tony
be breaking
Khan.
100, and
What about it?
3 weeks from now we'll have our. I guess it will be episode 96. Will be our 2 year.
And
Yeah.
just to let the
So-
people know, for something to keep sticking around for,
Let the people know.
it's been confirmed that Bro Keller will return for episode 100.
Yes.
nice.
The people will be happy to see the return of Bro. We haven't planned out what the topic's going to be. I'm wondering. Last time he was here, he reviewed a pay-per-view with us, so this should be fun. But
Tim
Bro
used
Keller-
a wrestling. Tim used a wrestling secret.
Oh
during
yeah.
his live show that he played, and it worked out. Is what it looked like.
Can't tell you guys the secret formula to a good old worker's spray.
But it worked, right?
Gotta keep that. My hair stayed wet from the first song to the last song.
Sure did. I was there. Yep. And last Thursday was Jeremy's birthday, so
It was.
happy birthday to Jeremy.
Yeah, we're
Thanks.
taking Jeremy out for a Summerslam dinner, and we're gonna get some photos done for the pod. Look all official, get all legit. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm excited. Do we all dress like Marks and wear our different
own
PW
shirts?
fan shirts?
I think we should.
You know, I still like our
Maybe
original
one
one.
photo. Maybe one photo with it, and then like
No, I think Andy wears a Booker.
All of
Andy,
them.
Jeremy wears the original. I'll wear the face tee. I don't care, and we'll all just take a big picture. It'll be nice.
I wear a shirt with my own name on it.
Yes. As
Mark for
a
myself.
as a man in the pro wrestling business would, better fucking wear that shirt.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Gotta promote, baby.
So that's about it for Dynamite. Unless you guys have something to add, we can hop into SmackDown.
The only thing I guess I have is like I don't know. I feel like Raw and Dynamite I don't really care as much about anymore.
Collision's so good, but we'll get
Collision's
to
so
Collision
good.
later.
SmackDown's good. Rampage is not even a show, but the
Well,
other
this
two are
past
good.
week, you showed us the stats of how much wrestling was actually on these shows.
Yeah, but you
and the
can't-
2-hour shows, but the 2-hour shows at least had
Yeah.
about an hour of wrestling.
Those,
they did the best.
Those stats that we were looking at, who were they compiled by? Do we have a source on that? I know that you guys.
I'll
sent
have to
the
get the
Vince Russo.
I'll have to get the person who did it and let you know.
It was Colin Thompson.
Let me ask you guys this, and if the make sure to email cornysdrivethrough@gmail.com if Colin Thompson from Podcast One owes you money, and if he does, well then you may be entitled to compensation. Anyway, moving on.
Back to the show.
Cast Media, not Podcast
So-
One. Colin Thompson from Cast Media.
All right, SmackDown this week opened up with a segment from Jey Uso. I thought it was a really good promo, and the crowd was super hot for him. They're ready to see him dethrone, I guess, Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Will it happen, though? Probably not. But Jey would admit that he believed in Roman, and instead of leading the family, he would break it. I believe Roman, Solo, and Paul would all end up coming out and, interrupted his promo with him. Some quotes from it were, the only reason you became the right-hand man is because Jimmy was hurt. If he wasn't hurt, you didn't have a chance. You took that from him. So kind of downplaying what Jey has accomplished on his own. He also said, you screwed your twin brother. Your younger brother loves me more than he loves you. Talking about Solo. And then Jey Uso would basically end the segment with, I beat you. I pinned you. I'm the only one to do it. And at SummerSlam, I'm going to beat you again.
So
That's a good segment.
I wonder if they got the idea from the storyline because, he's trying to tell me, he's like, you screwed your twin brother. And I'm like, that sounds vaguely familiar to what the Island Boys are doing right now. Just saying. Has pop cultural relevance.
Is it?
Well, they do screw each
I don't
other,
feel
right?
like it is.
Dude, I don't know. I'm not subscribed.
Andy knows.
No,
Andy's
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
OF subscriber.
The problem is that they're siblings and they're twins. That's the problem for anyone out there.
God damn it, it's disgusting.
Anyway, we had the finals for the U.S. title invitational. Two members of the LWO going against one another. Santos Escobar would defeat Rey Mysterio via stoppage, which actually Rey was knocked silly, basically. Not in the spot that they stopped it for. He was kind of knocked silly a little bit beforehand, but they would end up stopping it after the dive out.
Yeah.
So it was just early. I think
It was a good
Santos
decision,
obviously was supposed to win, but
Yeah.
yeah. So Santos would end up, I guess, and Austin Theory was in the audience watching. So Santos versus Austin Theory would be happening.
But also,
coming
no
up.
one cares about that match then. Like, if LA Knight was there, it would be an insane pop.
Because, well, Jeremy, speaking of LA Knight, LA Knight would end up interrupting a Hit Row promo. He would come out, huge pop, always. And he would talk a little shit about each one of the members, including Beep Fab, who he said was basically horny for her. And this would lead to a match there with Ashante the Adonis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what word.
He said horny?
I feel like he did. I saw the quotes for it, and it said horny.
Dang, my man was horny. He was bringing up some 1999 slang.
He said B-Fab has a huge boner for me.
Okay, that's all right.
Anyway, I thought you guys would just react a little differently, not laughing. Just tell me I can't say that, but
There's nothing wrong. There's
Go ahead,
nothing
Andy.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with huge boners if that's what people like. I mean, that's fine.
with B-Fab's huge boner.
If that's what you like, that's fine.
Well, B-Fab's a woman, so yes.
That's fine too.
Anyway.
Anything goes. This is 2023.
Can we just cut this out of the freaking Jesus
I'm
Christ?
saying it now.
Oh my God! All right. Anyway, Ellie and I would interrupt and hit Bro, like I said, and defeat Ashante the Adonis. Tim is over there saying who exactly? It's the other guy from Hit Row. That's not Flop Dollar.
He's the star of the show.
Charlotte
I don't care
and
about
Bianca.
the other two.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair and Bianca would team up to defeat Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Yeah. Dummy. Yeah.
Andy talks like that in real life now. He's like, yeah.
Bailey received a
I do
warning
that sometimes, too.
backstage. Bailey would receive a warning backstage from Shotzi. It reminded me of Jim Carrey's Riddler leaving Bruce Wayne notes. It was magazine cut out letters.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
And there was some green hair taped to it.
Say please.
Asuka would end up coming in, though, and confront Io Sky about possibly cashing in during the match at SummerSlam. Karrion Kross would defeat Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson wanted revenge for the week before getting attacked. And backstage, Adam Pearce announced a SummerSlam Battle Royal. And LA Knight wasted little time throwing his hat into the ring for a spot in the match. Sheamus would end up walking up, I believe, and say, you got to be more than just a promo to basically get far, which was interesting to hear and put that on TV, but kind of diminishes LA Knight. I'm not 100% sure, though, what the winner of the Battle Royal gets.
They win the Battle Royal.
Unless I missed it. So Jey Uso, though, in the main event, defeats Grayson Waller. Solo would attack afterwards. Jey would get the best of him. Roman would run to the ring. Jey would end up spearing Roman. That caused a big pop. But that didn't last long because the attack would continue on Jey with Roman and Solo standing tall.
They did that spear and spike, which I thought was a pretty cool spot.
Yeah. Oh, they did it twice, though, right?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. And that would wrap up SmackDown. Rampage, the only thing I wanted to talk about was there was a tag team battle royal.
Rampage?
There's a big tag team battle royal. Winners will face the winners of FTR and Adam Cole and MJF. It's one of those tag team battle royals where even if one member gets eliminated, the other is in.
Yeah.
Got down to a couple guys. Jeff Hardy's by himself in there fighting off Satnam Singh, trying to get him down. Funny his little heart out. This old man, little heart. He would weaken Singh to where Brian Cage and Big Bill would end up. Well, they are a team, but they teamed up to take him out and clothesline him over the top rope. Yeah. Winners, though, in the end, were Big Bill and Brian Cage. So they are going to be taking on the winners of FTR and Adam Cole and MJF. Collision. Before we get into it, anything to add?
No.
All right, Collision, our favorite of the AEW shows.
I have nothing to add.
Collision, I think we're all in agreement, right? Is the best AEW show as of late,
definitely.
At least?
Yeah. 100%.
This is wrestling.
It's wrestling.
I'm a Collision guy, as someone would say.
Well, Collision opened up with a banger of a match.
Dude, these guys killed each other.
Tim, were you able to catch this? By the way,
yes. Crazy.
Andrade versus Buddy Matthews in the ladder match for Andrade's match.
It's
fantastic
brutal,
opener. It could have been on a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. It would have been a great pay-per-view match, I thought. Buddy Matthews is too big, as my friend Corey would say. He told me, he said he looks like a figure.
That's true. He does.
He just looks like a Mattel action figure. He's so freaking jacked.
Yeah.
What was that, Tim?
Son of a bitch. Look! This is wrestling. This.
That's me. That's me when I'm watching. That's me when I'm watching Collision.
He's like, sure, you can take your gay porn and get right the hell out of here.
Not allowed to say that.
Hey, I didn't write the show. All right, that's just the script of the show. Still a funny ass episode, but yeah, I'm just thinking about parts now of like when they first lock up with Cartman. He's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck is that?
Yes, this was wrestling. Very good match. Yeah, it was a brutal match. Nice spot at the end with the handcuffs, I thought, to get Andrade the win and get his mask back. I'm not really sure where this leads to.
I think a match with Malachi then, right? I mean, he's
A
the
one-on-one. I mean, what he's wrestled Brody and Buddy now twice.
yeah.
So what? It just leads to a one-on-one match with Andrade, and
But he would like want to like take out the House
we
of
had
Black
that
then.
exact. That's how Aleister Black won the title. He beat Andrade
in
in
NXT.
NXT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe an
Um,
all in match.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah,
I'm down. It's a very good match. Strong opener. Set the tone of the show. Crowd was hot for it. Miro was attacked backstage by Aaron Solo.
I don't
Tim?
get that.
About Solo?
Yeah. Aaron Solo.
Who?
Do you know Aaron Solo? Yeah, exactly.
Who?
Aaron Solo, he's on Q. He's part of QTV with QT Marshall.
Solo,
Marshall.
Agato, Alagogo. Yeah. Yeah, I know the team.
Darby Allin would defeat Minoru Suzuki. Christian and Luchasaurus would appear on the screen and cut a promo between him and Darby because of Darby's upcoming match at, I mean, it's far away, but All Out for the TNT Championship.
Yeah, so he's not going to be on All In then. Maybe.
Maybe. At least not for that title.
I mean, they still haven't announced any matches, and it's in less than a month.
Samoa Joe would defeat Gravity. I don't know where Gravity came from.
That was like that joke with Pac though. Like I don't understand why they're doing it with. They continued it though.
Yeah, so what? Last week he faced Pac or something, and he
Yeah.
shook his hand because Pac was the man that Gravity forgot. That was Neville's
Yeah.
thing. So he
that was
introduced
the
himself to Gravity. Ha, huh.
Yeah.
Hilarious. um, so let's talk about this CM Punk segment.
CM Punk.
He came out after a break to give an interview with Tony Schiavone. He says he wants to talk about things that nobody else wants to mention. He would end up pulling the AEW title out of the bag and said that nobody has ever beaten him for it. He would then spray paint an X over the AEW title and say his famous straight edge line that he's been saying since pre-WWE, being straight edge
Yeah.
and better than you.
I love that.
Ricky Starks would end up coming out and said that he's the face of Collision and deserves that title because he's beaten Punk twice, even though if kind of cheated to win. I thought it was a good promo exchange between both sides. Like I mentioned, Punk has a new shirt, and it says "Best
Looks
in
good.
the World" with his arms crossed, but on the back it says "I'm a Collision guy." I know I kind of went through that promo and segment quick. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Anything I missed? I know
I mean,
you guys were big fans of it.
I loved it. I thought so. Interesting thing that I saw on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now, is that people were like, "Oh, why did he spray?" They're like, "Oh, did you notice he spray painted the E out of AEW, meaning the elite part?" But also, I'm like, it's the middle of the belt. Like, it would look stupid if he did it on like the W.
Yeah, like where's he
Or the
supposed
A.
to do it?
Yeah. So that theory I think was just dumb when people started saying that.
Yeah, someone posted a picture. I was like, "Oh, this is what you wanted," and it showed it going over the W. It was like lopsided. It's like it's symmetry.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Don't read that much into it. You don't have to read that much into things.
Yeah, yeah. But I thought this promo was awesome, and the fact that I like the look of like customizing your belt like that too, where like he has the X, MJF will have like the burgundy look to it, or whatever it
You
is.
gotta call it different. You gotta call it
Yeah, I mean-
belt something different then.
Yeah, I do want something else on Collision then if he's gonna have a belt. So, but I think it's just cool like the customization again.
Because if they're not gonna separate the belt and they're eventually gonna bring it together, is Punk gonna show up on Dynamite? Is there gonna be problems with him and the Elite
Oh.
backstage?
Speaking of that too, it's like the last show before All In. They're just filming Collision after Dynamite on that Wednesday, so everyone's gonna be at that show.
Everyone was at Forbidden Door, right? They just kept them separated.
Yeah, it's got them separate, but this is just like a Dynamite and Collision that's going to be all in one.
Well, he works with a bunch of children, so.
Did you
Tim,
mention
what-
about like the? Sorry, I was gonna say, did you mention about the title match with Ricky Steamboat?
No, that's why I asked if there was anything I
Oh,
missed.
sorry.
So no, thanks for reminding me. So this would lead though to next week, basically giving Ricky a title shot, and said that he's going to have a special guest ref though who will basically see anything coming and will ref correctly. And it is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who Punk I guess has a past with special guest refereeing. Am I correct? That's what they made it sound like.
Yeah, in Ring of Honor.
But Tim, what were your thoughts on this segment?
I loved it. I was super excited about the promo. I love the old school reference, the straight edge "I'm better than you" thing. I can tell that I like the seeds planted of a possible heel turn eventually, and I just think he would be so good as a full blown heel. It'd be awesome, but I know he probably doesn't want to do that, at least right yet.
Look, the people that are going to boom, whether he's a babyface or not.
Yeah, and he's probably making the company a lot of money
So
right
he's
now.
more of like
Face.
being himself, and like it comes off as a heel sometimes. Sometimes it comes off as a babyface. He's
Yeah.
like a in the middle kind of guy.
A
is what
tweener.
it seems like. Is that what it's called? Is that the technical term?
The technical term, yeah.
And then our main event was the finals for the Blind Eliminator tournament. Well, the tournament's over, but what the tournament would lead to was MJF and Adam Cole versus FTR for the tag team championships. Very good match. I thought everyone in the match crushed it. Winners were FTR in the end. I don't think they hit a double clothesline during this. I know they attempted it.
They attempted like 3 or 4 times.
But MJF, the champion, would be the one to get pinned in the end because he would push Adam Cole out of the way to take the move
Yeah.
from FTR. And afterwards, MJF is kind of pouting in the corner, and Adam's telling him it's all right, and Adam has his back turned, and he kind of senses it based on the crowd that MJF is up, and MJF is making it seem like he's going to hit Cole with the belt, but he decides not to, and they end up hugging it out. Unless the turn is coming this coming week, as in tomorrow night, because apparently we're going to hear from MJF.
I
I'm
don't
sure
think the
Adam
turn's
Cole's
coming,
gonna
though.
be. We'll see. What did you guys think of the match?
I thought the match itself was actually pretty good. I liked it a lot. I feel like FTR are like on a hot run right now of matches because I feel like they can have a good one with anyone. That double clothesline though, it was so funny every time they're building up to it. Like the crowd got so hot.
They also
for it.
yell it at each other.
Yeah, and the whole
Double
crowd yelled
clothesline.
when they did it too. I was like, how they got a double clothesline over like crazy. That's amazing to me. But FTR definitely should have won because I don't like when they do these like random tag teams and win titles. So it feels like it just like lowers the standard of the belts, but it was still a good match.
How about you, Tim?
I don't think the champ should ever be pinned. Like, especially if it's
Like
even if it's
MJF?
not- yeah, like I don't even if it's not for the title, or only as like a psychological thing where the guy that you're gonna face at the pay-per-view does it to like quote unquote get in your head type thing. Like if you had a tag match before.
Do you think it makes more sense though because he pushed Adam out of the way to save him and ended up
Yeah, like,
being
saved him.
caught? Still
Yeah.
bad, not as bad.
Yeah,
It was more like a hero thing.
MJF shouldn't be heroic. You know what I mean?
Did you like the match though overall?
Yeah,
I like them as a team.
I liked it.
I mean, everyone in that match is a star. Everyone's great
Yeah.
in their own way.
And this Adam Cole to me is a lot better than whatever they're doing with him before.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I want to end the show with SummerSlam predictions because it is coming up. So let's go through the card, which I'm really excited for. So there's a SummerSlam Battle Royal. I'm predicting LA Knight. I think everyone's kind of predicting LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Tim?
It better be LA Knight.
Logan Paul and Ricochet.
This is actually a tough one.
I'm going Ricochet.
I'm going Logan Paul.
Definitely Logan Paul.
I really like
Definitely.
the segment this week that we'll talk about. The segment between that from the 2 nights ago,
yeah.
from last night, Logan and Ricochet. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, we have. Dun, 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 dun. My page keeps going to a white screen. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey in an MMA rules match. I'm going Baszler because Ronda's leaving after this, and
Yeah.
why not put over another superstar, especially a friend?
That'd be kind of stupid if Ronda wins this and leaves, then she's done. So, Shayna Baszler.
And it just hurts Shayna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in agreement for the same exact reasons that you guys are. Also, if Rhonda's leaving and she's friends with Shayna in real life, you gotta put Shayna over.
Yeah.
Also, what is it going to look like if it's MMA rules? Like just a normal MMA fight?
Might be time limit.
Like rounds?
Could be that. It could be. What if they just start straight up fighting?
I was
they're
gonna say, what
sparring
if they
in, like,
actually
camp?
did have an MMA fight?
They could do that because they're both trained.
Well, what happened? Wasn't it Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart in a cage match?
Yeah, but that was awful.
Yeah.
What? No way! You
I don't
guys are
remember it.
crazy. That match is
Was it?
classic. The Lion's Den.
Yeah,
I
is
don't
that what
remember
it- yeah.
anything positive from that.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
No one talks about it. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, they
Sam's
do.
talking about it to this day.
All right.
Tim's like, I'm
There's
gonna have to change up my show of the week. And
there's
go back and tell y'all to watch.
There's some other old head wrestling fans listening right now, shaking their head along with me.
Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. What if they should just put him in the fight pit?
Yeah, exactly.
Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I'm going Cody Rhodes.
I feel like it has to be Cody because
Yeah.
what else would he do?
He's falling on hard times, baby.
Or is they have to keep falling on hard times, apparently. Maybe. I don't know.
Unless he just keeps falling down the hard
He was
times.
losing.
How about you, Tim?
Cody, but I got a weird feeling Brock's gonna win.
So, Brock.
Brock. I'm going Brock.
Always got to be the odd man out. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre.
Gunther.
I mean, I want Drew, but yeah, Gunther's going to win.
Who's believable to take the belt from Gunther?
Hey, Drew technically is because he's a monster. But if you have to build, I don't feel like they built it up to be like a
Because he's coming up on the longest reigning United States champion.
yeah. They don't have anyone right now. They didn't build it up to like change the title.
Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte.
Asuka still.
Asuka, Io cashes in on Asuka.
Oh right, I forgot you said that. That's a good idea.
That's my prediction. Tim?
I like that idea.
Oscar.
Do you think Io's going to cash in? That's what I think.
No.
They've been teasing it. No?
No.
See how right Booker Andy is. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins.
I'm going Finn.
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 Is Finn
Finn is
knows
not
it.
the favorite to win, but
He
it will be
deserves
full
it.
circle. Finn
Yeah.
won the Universal Championship at SummerSlam from
He deserves
to
a
Seth
run.
Rollins, and now he could win it again. But what if Rollins wins, but Damian Priest cashes in?
I don't want that at all, but
I don't want Damian Priest being champion,
period.
world heavyweight champion, at all.
Yeah.
Lastly, Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns in
Obviously,
a
Roman.
tribal combat.
In Roman, but The Rock comes out because that's how they should do it.
The Rock should come out and cost Roman the belt. And
Cost
Jey
Roman,
Uso
I would
wins.
challenge Roman.
You mean come out, close the show with The Rock just standing there,
Yeah. As
being
music
like
playing.
on the head of the table?
Yeah.
He's smelling the air like.
He's
That'd be
like, oh, it's
crazy.
Detroit. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, I did think it was weird they're having SummerSlam in Detroit. Like, they usually have it in like spots of like, that are nice.
He's like, you guys got any good water? Not filled with lead.
Oh my god, Andy.
I'm sorry. Anyways, guys, next week we'll be talking about SummerSlam, Dynamite 200, Marty Jannetty, Dark Side of the Ring.
Well, we have no more listeners from Detroit anyway, so they're all gone now.
The one we might have had. And then I feel like there's something I'm missing that we were going to talk about, but that's
think
it.
that was it.
You'll have to find out if I missed anything.
The Cody doc?
The Cody doc, yes. We will be talking about the Cody documentary, which me and Jeremy have watched. It came out Monday. And Tim will have it watched by next week, and we will all be able to talk about it.
I will have it
So
watched.
I watched it today.
I'm excited.
Tim, take us out.
All right. Well, before we get to the classic superstar, before we get to the classic show of the week, one more time, all socials at the PW Fan, YouTube's at the PW Fan Pod. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, all those things. Like I told you at the top of the show, really helps us out. All right. My classic show of the week is Spring Stampede 1998 from WCW. And this is a heavy hitter. There's some good matches and pretty Hall of Fame cards. So check this out, guys. In a singles match, you got Saturn with Billy Kidman versus Goldberg. In another singles match, you have Chavo Guerrero Jr. with Eddie Guerrero in his corner versus Ultimo Dragon. You have Chris Benoit versus Booker T. You have Kurt Hennig versus the British Bulldog. Chris Jericho versus Prince Iaukea. Rick Steiner and Lex Luger versus Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell. Psychosis versus La Parka. Hollywood Hogan and Kevin Nash versus Roddy Piper and the Giant. Diamond Dallas Page versus Raven. And in the main event, this is a stacked card. In the main event, Sting versus the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Spring Stampede 1998. That's a stacked card if I've heard one. That's a all Hall of Fame class right there. And that wraps up another exciting episode of the PW Fan. This has been episode 93. Thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to be back next week to talk all things pro wrestling with you, the fans. Until then, keep loving wrestling and take care.